so we're out and about, same day. Traffic on the bridge.
In case you haven't seen traffic before.
When was the last time I said that somebody I knew used to be afraid of going through the tunnels? You know what my fear is?
Getting stuck on a bridge.
You know, getting stuck on a bridge, but I always, in the back of my mind, I don't know why. And these bridges around here really aren't that long because, of course, Philadelphia's not that far from Jersey. So we have a couple bridges you go across. This is Walt Whitman. You have the Ben Franklin. You have the Tacony to Palmyra, and you have the Burlington Bristol. And there's the Commodore Barriers. That's like going towards Delaware. But anyway, so all of those bridges lead over to some part of Jersey. But my fear, and I don't know if this is so irrational, but my fear is when I go across a bridge, it's not that I'm afraid of going across, because I can look over or whatever, and I'm not afraid of heights or anything. But my fear is, what if the one time I go over a bridge, you start seeing the suspension, whatever they call cables, pop?
Okay, you've seen that on the Godzilla movie.
No! If you're like...
Godzilla!
Godzilla! No, the thing is, you're stuck in the middle of the bridge, and all of a sudden they start popping, and then the bridge collapses and goes in the water. That's my fear. I know it's irrational. Everybody has a little fear of something, but that's my fear when I go across bridges, that I'm going to be on the bridge, and all of a sudden the bridge is going to collapse and fall into the water. Maybe an earthquake. I don't know. That's just... Again, that's what I said. That's just my irrational fear. What about you, babe? Okay, I know you're afraid of heights.
So this is a fear video. I like this. That's something.
A fear video?
Yeah.
We can talk about it. We're just out and about, so we can talk about anything on our.
This is another great.
On our out and about or misadventures. It's not really a misadventure today, so this is out and about.
Yes, this is a fear video.
Okay, well, fine. It didn't have to be a fear video. I was just talking about my irrational fear.
Yeah.
And that's pretty irrational, but that's how I feel when I go across bridges.
Too many Godzilla movies for you. Godzilla!
We watch a lot of Godzilla movies.
So my fear...
Godzilla movies.
Very good, baby. You're coming up with all the topics today.
All right, then. What's your fear?
Okay, my fear is like what Ronnie said, heights. Heights scare the hell out of me. I don't know why. It's just something being up, out and about over everything. I actually, when I was getting out of school, I turned around and went to a job interview for an exterminator, because I figured I'd be like spraying for bugs and stuff like that, which I didn't really mind. But he turned around and says, we're going to take you out tomorrow, and he says, with one of our techs on pigeon control. I'm like, pigeon control? I said, are they on the ground? And he's like, no. He says, do you have an issue with heights? And at the time I was like, no, they don't bother me. So I really needed a job. But that was a mistake. I lasted one day. Then they turned around and they were like, the next day they called me. They said, I think it's going to work out. These people are going to pay me $7.50 an hour to climb up on these 10-story buildings and put chicken wire around holes so pigeons couldn't fly in them. That job was not for me.
We were just talking about that because you saw up on the wires on the bridge, it was people up there like those crates, I don't know, like the window washers. They had them up on the bridge, I guess. John said they go up there and paint or whatever. I'm like, why are you paint a bridge? I don't know. Maybe they were up there checking for problems in the suspension or whatever. Just like I said, they be irrational, it may not be. But he was just saying, how do people do jobs like that? And I said, yeah, same thing as window washers. If you have a fear of heights, of course, you're not going to go up on some kind of wired thing where you could fall 100 stories to your death.
I did for one day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do it after that, though.
Yeah. No. Got any other fears? Irrational or not?
No, bridges don't really bother me. My ex-wife fear, I got over that. That's called a divorce!
Yeah. Like, you just talk about something always acting crazy.
Hey, come on, that was fun.
Yeah, I can't think of any other fears that that I have. Not, I don't have fear of bugs, but I definitely dislike bugs.
Mildly, but
Yeah, I know it's mildly. I had a stink bug on me one time, and I jumped around like I had ants in my pants. I was.
what about your mom? She got a cat.
So I just got interrupted by a call. But I think I was talking about how I had a stink bug on my back one time, and I started jumping and screaming. And
That was me!
I was dancing all over the place, like, get it off, get it off. Can't stand stink bugs anyway. But yeah, not a big fan of the
Stink
bugs,
bugs.
bug genre. Yeah, can't stand stink bugs. And for some reason, they're like overrun in Philadelphia or the park or I don't know where it is.
What about lantern flies?
You know, lantern flies were a big thing last year. I didn't really see where it's like, oh my God, we're inundated with them, but
They're out
obviously
there,
the
but
cities
it don't
are.
seem like they're
The
that
cities
many.
are. The city is. I think they did some kind of mediation for them. So maybe they're big.
They got them not to fly to Philadelphia.
Now they did something where they were putting these tape or some kind of bag tape thing around the tree trunks, and that nabs them or whatever. You know, like if they fly into. You're supposed to get them at a certain stage of their larvae or whatever before they become adults, and then they can go out and destroy everything else. Who the hell knows? Where the hell did the lantern fly come from? We don't know.
That sounds
know,
like a.
we know, but people don't want to say anything. So no, because all these crazy bugs come here from different countries. Either they get in through produce or stuff along those lines, and then they come here and they don't have a natural predator, and they just go crazy wild. Like the stink bugs don't have a predator here.
Well, they claimed that killer hornet a
Yeah.
couple months ago. That came in a wood shipment
Oh,
from
really?
overseas.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they burrow into the wood and then they came over in a wood shipment.
Yeah, so if they come over in things that are shipped, then what are you going to do when they get here and they go wild again because they don't have a natural predator? So they just go, lay eggs or whatever. Next thing you know, they spread from city to city,
You say
state
legs?
to state.
They come over in their legs?
I said, no, they come over however.
Oh, they said they come over in their legs.
Yeah, they walk.
I see one of them saying,
Yeah,
that was a long
They
walk.
walk from Japan,
Yeah.
okay? So, yeah, anyway. So we were talking about fear, but those are some crazy things that, so you don't really have any other fears other than heights? I know he does.
I used to fear the chicken pox because I never had the chicken pox. Because when I did service work with my dad, I was always concerned about going to somebody's house that had the chicken pox.
Really,
But then
John?
I got the shot.
What do you mean you never had the chicken pox?
Never had the chicken pox.
Now, you know what that probably means? That's probably mean you're going to get the, what's the other thing?
No, you gotta,
Shingles.
in order to get shingles, you have to be exposed to the chicken pox. Shingles is a secondary virus from the chicken pox virus.
Yeah, you're going to get it.
But what they did say, and I figured made an appointment, went to go get the shot. So I go to the doctor's office and I hear the girl say,
You got to
his
say
nurse-
something stupid, y'all.
his nurse says, was this left in the refrigerator? This is supposed to be in the freezer and then come out a few minutes before ready to be used. And she's like, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So-
what?
Oh yeah, it was left in the refrigerator. I'm sitting there thinking, is this thing even any good?
Oh, my goodness.
So I don't even know. Hopefully I am covered, but I don't know.
Why do you always go to doctors that got their degrees off a cereal box?
I don't know. Well, it wasn't his fault. It was whoever put it away didn't put it in the right place.
Again.
I was so mad. I went home and pecked off like a half a corn on the cob. And I did get this weird feeling to nest for like a week. They said that could be a side effect from a bad shot.
I knew he was going to go somewhere left with this. That's why I don't even ask him. But, yeah, so you never were afraid of dog. Well, obviously you're never afraid of
No,
dogs.
animals really never. I don't like snakes.
See, now I don't have a problem with snakes.
Okay, well, we'll get one.
We're not getting a snake.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about? You would have a problem if one was in the
I
house.
don't like caterpillars. I don't mind worms because I can bait a hook.
So,
I just don't like.
So if we
I'm
went to
not
the
really
pet
crazy
store
about
and I
cats.
said she wants to hold a snake, you would hold one? You
Why
said you don't have
not?
no fear. Because they bite! I'm telling you, they always bite.
I don't want a snake, but I'm not afraid of. Like you can say, like my aunt, I had an aunt. You could say the word snake and she'd jump up screaming and yelling like where, like just a snake in the house.
I had a
You know,
tarantula.
all you'd have to do is just start talking about it. Yeah, you know what? You're right. John got, oh, Lord, just a few years ago, John had tarantulas. He would never handle
No, the
them,
hell with that, they
but he
bite.
had tarantulas. I'm like, why are you going to get a bunch of tarantulas when you can't handle them?
I took a fish net and I used to scoop them with a fish net. Not
And
touching that
that's
shit.
not the thing. Okay, yeah, they bite, but you have to handle them so they don't, and you have to be very careful when you handle them because you can't drop them. Like if you drop a tarantula, they'll just pop. You know, they're very, very sensitive and stuff like that. So I don't know.
I'm sensitive too. I don't want one crawling on me.
That's the reason why. If somebody can explain to me why you would get tarantulas when you know you can't handle them.
Oh, I can handle them.
You were pretty much afraid of the tarantulas. And he had like at least 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, I think we had 2.
No, you had some kind of ruby one, or rubby, or bubby.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I
it's
had
called.
one with blue tips on it. I think.
You had that one, but you did have one that was called a ruby.
No, a
ruby,
rose.
a
Rose.
A rose butt, I don't know, ruby
No.
butt, something type of
Rose
tarantula.
It wasn't no rose, but
It was
a
called
rose
a ruby something,
No,
I thought.
no, I think it's called a rose something.
Whatever, it was a tarantula that he probably should not have gotten, definitely. And because he couldn't handle it. So
No, it wasn't I couldn't handle them. I didn't want to handle them and get bit.
that's being afraid of. So
No, I wasn't afraid
You don't
of
get an animal that you're afraid is going to bite you, John.
No.
You get there, you take the bites.
Hey.
You took the bites with the birds.
Yeah, I know, but they're not like creepy crawly things.
Don't get creepy crawlies. I know I don't like bugs, so I'm not going to go and get a Madagascar roach. I'm not going to go
A
get
hissing cockroach.
hissing cockroach. I'm not going to go get some crazy bug from a bug family and put it in a container and say, I've got this bug because, it looked real cool, but I can't handle it. That's stupid. All right. So, where are we headed again today? We're headed over
to that
to
fish store where you always says it rains.
Yeah, well, it's not raining today, but it sure is hot. It's like 105 degrees out here today, folks.
Yeah, don't get broke down.
Yeah, you better not. Yeah, it's like the humidity and everything. It feels like 100 and some odd. What are they doing over there? Is that fall? Or is that something they built?
Yeah, the bridge.
No, over there.
Yeah, it's dirt.
Ew!
Excuse me.
Such a pig.
Better come out that way than the other end.
For me, yes, but you're still a pig. All right, so not too much
You
going
gonna
on
drink the
today.
rest of your coffee?
Yes, I'm gonna drink the rest of my coffee. Stop trying to drink my coffee. John's always getting something from me and then drink it. Last time we were out, I really liked. Who is it? Wawa has this sugar-free, because I don't do sodas, but if I do drink sodas, it's gonna be like a
Like a
sugar-free.
diet?
Yeah, a diet of sugar-free.
How about a
whatever.
tab?
No. So he gets me, and this is the only way Wawa has it. It's a grape Sprite, which is really odd, but I haven't
A
seen
great Sprite?
Grape.
Oh, I didn't say
You
great.
can't hear. This is a grape Sprite.
It's fantastic.
And it's the only one that it's really, really good. It's great flavor. And like I said, it's sugar free, so he gets it, and I'll be drinking it, and next thing I know, he's got it and he's drinking it. And I'm like, why do you always give me these things and then you drink them up yourself? Well, babe, you just let it sit there.
Yeah, you
I'm
don't drink
letting it
fast
sit there because I'm savoring it.
Oh,
I don't
see.
throw it down
like
my
a
throat.
fine wine.
Pretty much like.
Yeah, like a fine wine.
Yeah, I can't drink wine, so there you go. So yeah, he always does that. So I got this much soda left, and he's
Soda?
asking. I mean soda. This much coffee left. Yeah, so he's either drinking my soda or he's drinking my coffee. It's not fair. So Yeah. We're trying to see if we can get to Rita's water ice and maybe they have a sugar-free version.
They do.
I'm so dying for Rita's water ice, but it has to be the sugar-free version. So if we can't get it, I'm gonna see if I can make some kind of Slurpee or something at home because really jonesing for some kind of cool drink like that. So.
Do you have a blender to make?
Well, I had a blender and something happened to it. Now it's not working, so now I got to go get another blender. I have a real small
blender.
one. That's not even a bullet one. It's real small. It's not going to make enough of anything. I want to put everything in the blender, just blend it up, and have like some kind of Slurpee type drink or freezy type drink or whatever. And I can't do that. So yeah, I think you should get me a blender when you go in Walmart. Hamilton needs something. Doesn't have to be anything.
Look, what's that other one guaranteed for life? That thing looked like it just belonged in a military.
I don't
restaurant.
know, but I don't have whatever, and I don't know.
Or a military base, not a restaurant. What is a military restaurant?
I don't know. There are no military restaurants.
That belonged in a military restaurant, I said. Then I'm like, wait a minute, there's no military restaurants.
Okay, on that note, we're going to go because I don't know what John's talking about. But we might be back later after we get out of Walmart. I'm sure John's going to come out of Walmart with some kind of story because
I got something special I'm buying you at the fish store today, babe.
No.
Yeah, I'm getting you something special.
No.
You're going to like it.
No, because my fish tank has these things called copepods or something. There's some kind of crustacean. These things are like little dust particles floating around. I found out, I thought it was just like the fish kicking up soot or something off of the substrate, but it's actually some kind of organism. And they look like little specks, little white specks. But I thought they were floating, but they're not floating, they're actually swimming.
Right.
So I looked it up and it's called
tank got bed bugs.
Copepod or planetarian or some kind of plankton.
A planetarian?
That's what they said. It might be bad. There's a whole bunch of names for it. But what it boils down to is the little crustaceans or little, they call them seed shrimp. And that makes sense because there were a couple of shrimp in there and then they died and I don't know what happened to them. So, yeah, that fish tank is a whole organism in its own, which is kind of cute. So, yeah. So we'll be back. We'll see ya later. So as you see, John has found another critter to add to the critter house. Now, he came upstairs with this snake. We were just talking about snakes in our last video, by the way. And here he walks with this snake that apparently is called a ringneck snake. And this is a baby. It looks like it's a hatchling. I don't know. He said he found it in the driveway. He came in and showed it to me. And he was going to take it back out. He wanted to know what kind of snake it was before he released it into the backyard. And I found out what kind of snake it was. It's a ringneck. And looks like it's a baby. It's a hatchling. So we were looking for, well, what do you feed it? And they eat like crickets and small insects and things like that. It's a carnivore. So, also read that this snake really doesn't get any much bigger than what it is. The most it gets is 10 to 15 inches and as wide as a pencil. So that's doable. I think I'm going to keep him. And John wants the name of Cecil. I don't know why Cecil. I got to come up with a better name. If you guys can think of a better name, please put it in the comments. Because I'm not feeling Cecil. But I do think I'm going to keep him. We'll see how long he lasts. Hopefully. You know, we're always rescuing these animals and getting them healthy and then setting them free and letting them go. So, yeah. Oh, look at it. He's moving. So at least he's moving. Yeah, 10 to 15 inches. I have never. When he brought him in, I said to him, how big do you think this thing is going to get? And then I just read that it only gets 15 inches in the width of a pencil. So at the most, you know, maybe he'll outgrow
this tank into like a 10-gallon or something, but he's not going to get very big. So I think Ronnie can handle that. So we'll say goodbye to Cecil is his name for now, but again, I'm not feeling it. So I have to come up with a cooler name for him. I like that he's got that little ring around his neck. And they found out that they're not on the venomous level, they're very, very low, and they said that their teeth are all the way in the back, so if they bite you, you're probably really not going to feel it, and they're really, maybe it'll sting for a little bit, probably no more than like a bee sting or something like that. So that's good, he's not venomous. I thought, because he's all black and with a ring around his neck, I thought he was some kind of venomous snake in his house. But it's funny, he's orange under his belly, so I don't know, it's probably like a deterrent when you're out in the wild and things like that. But yeah, so new pet. We'll see. Just wanted to come on and make a quick video of him because I think he's kind of cool looking. But yeah, Cecil for now. Got to work on that name. Peace and love.